this video, we will demonstrate how to accomplish tasks to earn the Seesaw Level 2 badge. Upon completion, be sure to scroll down and click here to request your badge to earn your Seesaw Level 2 badge. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is click here to log into your Seesaw account with your SPS Google credentials. You can also go to a new tab and type seesaw.me to navigate to your Seesaw account. You'll click in the right hand corner and click login. Once you do that, you'll click on I'm a teacher and click on sign in with Google. Because you're doing the level 2 badge, you should already have a Seesaw account and gone through the process of setting up your account with Seesaw. Over here in the left-hand corner, you can navigate to any one of your classes that you already have set up. You should have multiple classes set up or just one if you've only used one. Okay, down here at the bottom, across the bottom tab, you have, if you scroll to make your screen bigger, you have all of your different tabs. You have your journal, your activities, your notifications, and your progress monitoring. Across the top row, you have your messages and your library icon. The library is where we're going to work today. So I'm going to shrink my screen a little bit so that we can see our tasks that we're going to do. Today we're working in our Seesaw activity library. So I'm going to click on the My Library tab, and we're going to be creating a new activity for this task. So I'm going to click on Create New Activity. I'm going to name, and let me make sure I'm in my right classroom before we do this. Yes, the training classroom. Okay, perfect. So let me go back to my library. I'm going to create a new activity. I'm going to name it, so we'll just do badging sample activity for mine. You're going to give your activity a name. And then in your activity, we're just going to follow the directions here. It says at least one seesaw icon in your directions. You can find those seesaw icons by Googling them. And then the way that you add a seesaw icon to your directions is by doing a semicolon, the word that you need, and then a semicolon at the end. For example, if I wanted to put the word to make this little icon come up in my directions, I would do semicolon, the word add, and another semicolon. So say I wanted to, in my directions, put this little button that says add responses. I would begin direction number 1, click, semicolon, add to begin. Direction number 2, use and let's say I wanted to use the little hand symbol to use the hand to move the objects around to sort your pictures. And then I could continue on with my directions. Direction number 3, sort your pictures. Direction number 4, click on the check mark to submit your work. So those are my directions. Next direction, add recorded voice instructions. So right here, you see the click on the microphone to add recorded voice directions. When you do that, and then you click the little microphone to begin, and it starts recording you. And then you just record yourself reading the directions. Click the add response button to begin. Use the hand to move the objects to sort your pictures. Number 3, sort your pictures. Number 4, click the check mark to submit your work. And then you click on the little green check mark. It processes your recording. You can listen back to it if you need to, in case you need to check your new directions to make sure they make sense. If you like them, you're good. If not, you can trash them and start over. Next direction, add a template for student responses. And for this one, we're going to do the drawing type. So I go down here to the bottom and I do add template for student responses. So I start that and it said we're going to choose the drawing type. And then here are the directions for what to include in your directions. So the next one says I'm going to add at least one text box. So I come over here. Here's my text box feature. So up here, let's see. In my directions, sort the pictures. And we're just going to create this. I'm going to drag this out down here. I can move it around. Maybe I want to change the color. Maybe I want this text box to be purple. I really like purple. It says add at least one voice recording. So up here, I can add voice recordings using the microphones over here, or I can actually attach voice recordings to text boxes. So say I want to read this to them. Maybe my students are younger and they can't read these directions. So I want to actually attach the voice recording to this text box. I can do that here. Sort the pictures. And then it puts a little microphone here next to that text box so that when the kids get these directions, they can actually click on that microphone and it'll read this text box to them. Or I can just add a random voice recording over here anywhere on the screen. On this activity, you will sort the pictures. Click and drag them to the box that they belong in. And then I can click on that. And I can click done. And then I can listen to it if I need to. And this here is movable. So if I need to, I can click and drag that and it makes a recording of the whole image. Or if I don't like it, I can delete it and get rid of it. It says add at least one linked object. So maybe I want to add a video here. I can link right here and I can paste a website URL. So let's say I want a YouTube video. Maybe I've decided that I want to link them to how to grow a seed. So I'm going to come over here. Some of those were interesting. How to grow an avocado. This is the one I want. Share. I'm going to copy that link and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to paste that website URL into there. And now I've got that video in here and I can shrink it down. I can grow it. I can move it. And I'm going to lock it so that they can't move that around. So now it's stuck there and I can move it and I can unlock that. And now the students can just click right there on that link and they can watch that video. Next one, and now here I can add some pictures in here. Maybe I want to add a picture of so maybe since we've got some plants here, maybe I want to add a picture of, what I want to add a picture of? Plants. Let's grab some images. Maybe we're going to make a plants art. So maybe we're going to do plants and animals. Let's copy that image and go back over there and let's paste it. So maybe we're going to do a plant and animal sort. So maybe plants and animals. All right, so there we go. That cute little red panda. So maybe for this one, we're doing a plant and animal sort. So maybe they're going to put plants on one side and animals on the other side. I'm just grabbing random things right now. Okay, next one, assign the activity to your students. So let's say I've got my activity all set up the way that I want to, and I've got everything in here that I want. This is a very basic and dull and boring activity. This is obviously not a complete activity, but I've got everything in there that it requires. So I'm ready to assign it to students. I'm done building it from the teacher side. I'm going to click on this little green check mark. And I've put everything in it that it requires for this, for all intents and purposes here. I can put some teacher notes down here if I want to that are visible. It says just to teachers, some notes for myself. And if I need to, I'm going to save this. And this is going to just my library for myself. And you see, once I save the activity, now those little picture directions are in here for students. My voice directions that I recorded are in here for students. And there's the little template that I created for them. Okay. The heart means that it's in my personal library and I'm ready to assign it to my students. So that's the next direction in our steps, is to assign the activity to our students and let them complete it. So I'm going to assign it and I can choose what class, again, from our last video that I want to assign it to. I can assign it to the whole class. I can go in here and I can click and assign it to individual students. This is a fake class, so there's no students in there. I showed that in the last video, how you can drill it down to individual students, groups of students if you've created groups in your classroom. Okay, so I'm going to assign it to them. And let's use my training class for this. Okay, I can assign it to certain students. I can assign it to certain groups. So let's do that and assign it to them. Okay, and then once you have students complete it. That says that's the next thing we want you to do, is have students complete the assignment, provide them with some feedback, and return it back to them. And then it's finally, as your last step of the process, once they have completed it and you've returned it back to them and given them some feedback, we want you to go over to your library, and in the right hand corner, let me go back to your library for just a moment. Activities. I got to make the screen big for just a second to see the library. There we go. To get it to us, in order to get your points for your badge, we're going to go back to your library and go back into the activity, and right down here in the bottom in the lower right hand corner, if you go to share activity and do get teacher link and click on copy, and then come back over here where you go to click on request badge and go back to that Google form, and again choose your building, web apps and tools, click on next, choose the badge you requested, and find Seesaw Level 2 this time in there, and then click on paste and paste that website URL into there for the teacher link, and click on submit to submit your evidence to us that you've gotten the badge for this one. Hopefully you had a fun time with exploring with creating activities in the Seesaw activity and the template, and had fun with giving this to your students and playing around with the creative tools within Seesaw. And we look forward to checking out your activities that you've done with your students. Thank you for watching our video on our demonstration on how to accomplish the tasks required to earn the Seesaw Level 2 badge. Upon completion, be sure again to click on that link below to request your badge.